So here's the question. Do you know how much your other half makes? If you don't, it could be a sign that as a couple, there are some cracks in your household's financial foundation. Joining us today is John Sweeney, Executive Vice President at Fidelity Investments, to share some findings about a new survey about couples and retirement. Hi there, John.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so first up, this is kind of interesting. Were you surprised that so many couples could not correctly identify what their significant other earns?
We were surprised. When we asked couples, do you communicate well about financial issues, more than two-thirds said, yes, we do. But when we went a little bit deeper and said, so what does your partner make? 43% of them couldn't get correct what their partner brought home. So we found that to be surprising.
Any idea what the reason for this might be?
So a couple different reasons. First of all, we're taught as a society, don't ask what other people make and don't talk about what you make. So there's obviously a reluctance brought into any relationship to talk about what you bring home. The second and third reasons, though, are actually much more market-based. So I think that from an economy standpoint, we're moving much more towards what we call a project-based economy. So people work on projects, and those projects may or not continue next year. So people's ability to predict their own income year to year is actually getting more challenging. But also, you've come off of 6 years of a bull market, and so for people who have some kind of compensation linked to the market, stock option income, or whether you're retired and living off of your investment income, you've had 6 years where you've had pretty significant appreciation in your securities that may not continue into the future. So it makes it more difficult for people to understand what they're bringing home themselves, much less what they want to communicate to their spouses.
Okay, so what are the absolute musts that every couple needs to discuss and agree upon?
So the musts are really around, let's talk about what we bring home. We need to put it all together in a pot and look at how we're going to build a life together. So I need to understand what my partner brings home. The second thing is that I need to establish goals. So if I'm a young couple and I'm trying to save for a home or send a child to college, I certainly don't want to defer retirement even if I'm young. So I want to think about those goals that I have at different stages of life. For folks nearing retirement, it's really about defining what our retirement together will look like. Will we live in our current home? Will we move to a new community and downsize? Those expenses in retirement require different types of retirement income solutions. And so you want to make sure you've established goals together and you understand what your expenses might be in retirement before you try and figure out how much income will I need to settle or solve for that retirement. So really collaborate around those goals and then try and solve for those goals first before you start spending. So we recommend that people take money out of each paycheck and put it towards each of those goals before you begin to put it in your checking account. Because if you start to spend it first and then try and find the money afterwards and then apply it to the goals, inevitably you'll probably have overspent and you won't have enough to put against those goals.
So like you said, those money conversations can be tough. Any tips for starting that conversation?
Certainly, beginning a conversation around how much we bring home and what money goals we might have together is challenging. So we've built a couples quiz that's available at Fidelity.com. I went through it. It's only 9 questions. I emailed the quiz to my wife. She went through the same 9 questions, and then we were able to compare and contrast answers. And I'll tell you that, even for folks that we think about this a lot, I probably had information that I hadn't shared with her, and so it was important for us to get on the same page and make sure that we were collaborating around the shared goals that we have together.
All right, well, give us that website one more time and tell us where couples can go for more help.
Fidelity.com/couplesquiz is where the quiz begins. And we do have a newsletter called Viewpoints, which comes out every week, and it offers 3 areas of insight. A, what's going on in the markets. B, some investing ideas. And C, some personal finance topics like the retirement topics we've been talking about.
All right, well, we appreciate you talking with us today.
Fabulous. Thanks for having me.
All right, coming up on the show today now, we've got a little live music, and it starts with Texas Hill Country sound mixed with Chicago grit. Trevor McSpadden joins us a little later in the studio. And then, lucky you, we are not done with the music. This is great. We've got another bona fide troubadour with us today, Matt Campbell. Couldn't miss out on all the fun. He'll join us a little later. Then we'll head to the kitchen. We're making a bright and fresh salad, perfect for any summer celebration.